Toy Story 2 is one of the greatest movies of all time. For an animated sequel to come out when it did and be actually genuinely fantastic was incredible, unheard of. It completely broke the mold. Because keep in mind, the bar for animated sequels at this time was very, very low. You got stuff like Return of Jafar, Mulan 2. And since the movie was made before the 2010s, it came out during that period of time where every movie got some horrible rushed license game.
Who invited that kid?
So yes, Toy Story 2 was inevitably gonna get a licensed tie-in game as well, but just like the movie itself, it actually subverted expectations. This game is a genuinely fantastic collectathon and is unmistakably Toy Story. Every location you traverse is from the perspective of a toy. It all seems absolutely enormous, but still designed in such a way so that it makes a perfect video game level. The way everything's thought out fits together in such a way so that you could actually think Pixar themselves made this, even though they didn't. The people who actually did make this were Traveler's Tales, so we'll take this as an apology for Wrath of Cortex, even though they made this first. And I haven't actually played Wrath of Cortex. But it's funny because Buzz can spin around in a circle similarly to Crash Bandicoot as well. In general, I think Buzz's moveset is fantastic. Buzz is the only character you play as, by the way. I, for one, am a fan of this because I don't like when games just suddenly have some random one-off segment where you have a different control scheme that doesn't actually test your abilities. And the developers easily could have tried to do this with Woody on the plane at the yard sale or with the toys trying to drive a car. Who knows? Maybe they just didn't have time to add those sort of things. The game's better off without them, though. And besides, Buzz being the character you play as not only fits the story of the movie, but it also just allows you to do a lot of cool things only Buzz would be able to do. And besides, he's the obvious natural pick since he's the only one of Andy's toys that go on that quest that has the full body capabilities of a human.
Wouldn't it be cool to be Buzz Lightyear?
Yes, this is the commercial. It came out when video game ads had nothing to do with the game. It is kind of funny that Buzz's helmet is advertised as doing that whoosh thing, but he doesn't actually do that in the game. It's just always down, which isn't accurate to the movie, but I mean, he has to deal with some pretty extensive combat encounters in the game, so I think it makes sense for defensive purposes. And yeah, Buzz's spin can be charged up for a long spin like in the ad. I just don't think I ever did that. It leaves you dizzy and vulnerable afterwards, but what's the point of using the spin anyway when you've got a blaster by your side? Buzz's laser can be used as a weapon in this game, and I think he might have underplayed how dangerous it actually is. It has incredible range and does a shit ton of damage, especially when you charge it up. And you can even find a power-up in each stage that replaces your next several shots with fully charged ones as rapid-fire charge shot, which can kill even the most dangerous enemies almost instantly. The laser even comes with a first-person mode and a lock-on feature to help you aim and hit specific obstacles. It helps make the world of the game feel that much more alive because you can properly interact with the environment around you. And some of Buzz's other moves really help with that as well. You can swing on certain things, you can climb up certain things, you can push certain things around and stomp on things to make them do something. And there are some objects you can interact with merely by touching them. Some even create shortcuts to alleviate having to go through massive portions of the level again after you've gotten to that point. And to whoever's idea that was, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It makes the design in this so much less frustrating than it otherwise would have been. And that's taken into account the fact that modern versions of this game have the rewind feature, which ain't cheating, by the way. If somebody uses it, it's fine. It's an accessibility option. I myself still use it to save even more time. Reclimbing a building ain't fun, sorry.
Use its power, I beg you. Don't let the Jedi tell you you're not a real gamer.
Oh yeah, also there are more power-ups than just the laser. In some of the stages you can find Mr. Potato Head and he's missing a part of his body, so if you find that body part from somewhere else on the map and bring it back to him, he'll then unlock a new power-up for you, in the same sort of way as the utility belt from the actual movie. Which is really nice attention to detail, but also you're a fucking asshole. Our friend is on the line, dude. These power-ups aren't really game-changing, but they are fun when they show off. Except the grappling hook, I don't like that one. Really, they're the closest thing the game has to vehicle sections, but they're very, very brief. Except in one level. but we'll talk about that one later. And something I don't like is that some of the stages require you to have power-ups from later stages in order to collect everything, and that forces you to backtrack if you want to get everything in a stage. But that's a pretty rare issue in the game, and you don't have to backtrack in order to finish the game at all. You see, the main collectible you get in this game is Pizza Planet tokens. You need to get one in each level in order to progress to the next one, but you also need to have a certain amount of Pizza Planet tokens to unlock the next level. In order to play the final boss level, you need to have 40 out of the 50 Pizza Planet tokens, which really isn't that big of a deal, since the Pizza Planet tokens are only in the normal levels, and the game is divided up into sections of 3, 2 normal levels and then a boss level. Beating the boss just ends that level immediately, but for the normal levels, there are 5 Pizza Planet tokens in each, and you can leave at any time you want. There's always one Pizza Planet token just hidden somewhere in the stage, one you get for doing a time challenge, one you get for beating a mini-boss, one you get for collecting 5 special collectibles with audio cues hidden around the map and bringing them to a certain person, and then another for getting 50 coins and bringing them to Ham. There are only 5 Pizza Planet tokens in the entire game that you can't get on your first playthrough of that stage, which is nice because it means you don't have to backtrack at all. It's honestly not worth collecting all 50 Pizza Planet tokens because your reward is just a cutscene, which is a clip from the movie, which, while it was probably cool for the time, now that the movie is way more accessible, this really doesn't mean anything. Plus, with the cutscenes in this game being movie clips, they had to be compressed super hard. It feels like I'm watching this on a fucking microwave. It is cool that some of these clips aren't actually completed, like they're missing sound effects and stuff. It makes me feel like I'm looking at behind the scenes stuff. I think I might be very easily impressed.
Come on! You gotta admit this is cool!
Another thing I think is cool is the fact that Rex is the person who gives you hints throughout the game, since in the movie itself, he picked up a guidebook on a video game. That's a nice detail. I still don't really get why every other toy from Andy's room coerces you though. I mean, the fact of the matter is, when trying to make a video game adaptation, you should focus more on game design than trying to be one-on-one accurate to the movie. In fact, if that were to be the case here, Buzz wouldn't even be able to shoot enemies. No, it doesn't bother me that there are Zurg minions running around all over the place even before Zurg would have escaped Al's toy barn. No, it doesn't bother me that there are additional Woody's Roundup themed enemies that don't actually appear in the movie. What does bother me is that Stinky Pete is designated to be in a mini-boss in the airport level, and then the actual final boss fight is just him plus 2 other Woody's Roundup themed mini-bosses from previous levels. It's really lame and really lazy. Actually, no, it probably isn't lazy, it was probably just a result of crunch time. But honestly, what's even weirder to me is the fact that Utility Belt Buzz is also in the game, but only as a mini-boss, and he's in a car.
What?
It would be so cool to fight someone who's evenly matched against you, but that's not what they went with for some reason. Instead, the proper boss at the end of the Al's Toy Barn set of levels is just a giant version of a standard enemy. Also, 2 out of the 10 of the normal stages are bad as well. Alleys and Gullies in Tarmac Trouble are genuine trash. Alleys and Gullies dedicates way too much time to the grappling hook power-up, which you don't even have access to at this point in the game, so you have to backtrack, because there are only 2 Pizza Planet tokens you can even get in this stage the first time around. And Tarmac Travel is so unnecessarily large and annoying to navigate that the devs put rocket boots around the stage to help you move around faster. You have to jump on this plane and wait for it to make cycles to get to the destination you want it to, so if you miss the plane jump, well, I hope you're playing a version of the game with a rewind feature. Fortunately, with the fact that you only need 40 Pizza Planet tokens to beat the game, you can just collect one of the Pizza Planet tokens in this level so you can progress and then just ignore the rest of them. Which doesn't make the fact that these levels are in the game okay, but it does help alleviate that pain. In fact, this still works with you not needing to backtrack, because if you don't backtrack, the only other level you don't get every token in is Al's Toy Barn, and you miss 2 in there. Therefore, you have 40 Pizza Planet tokens by the time you reach the final boss, and you can just beat the game anyway. And when you do beat the game, the last thing you see before the credits is Buzz getting an erection, just like me after playing this. Yeah, it's still really good in spite of those glaring issues, and I recommend everybody who watches this video plays it, especially if you already like Toy Story. I mean, what are you even waiting for then? This game is basically like Super Mario 64 if it was actually good, and no, I will not apologize for saying it. I'm sorry!